Hello, everybody.
What up? What up? What up?
My name is Tim Daniel. His name is Ben Brown. And welcome to this week's edition of Late Night Reds, Sunday night here on the Riverfront. Brought to you, as always, Ben, by our good friends at SeatGeek. Now, say, Ben, it's the last homestand of the season. You're like, man, I really need tickets for this Twin Series. I
Mm-hmm.
got to see the tribute videos for Sonny Gray and Kyle Farmer.
Oh.
Where do you get your tickets?
Hey man, you go to SeatGeek and you put in our code Riverfront, and you get $20 off your first order. Man, that's not even a question. That's not even a debate. Go to SeatGeek, get your tickets, catch the playoff defining series for the Reds here with Minnesota Twins.
I love it. You're getting so good as a pitch man. I'm very proud of you.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Dibble and dabble.
Yeah. So we do have to get into some Reds conversation, obviously. But there is an elephant in the room for this weekend coming up. Our college football teams have quite the matchup this Saturday in South Bend, Indiana.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. As you can see over that shoulder, I fly the flag there. So
Yeah. And as we both know, it's been a long time since my team has won that game. A very long time.
I'll tell you this. We played better this weekend,
They
but
did.
this is probably one of the better Notre Dame teams that we're going to be playing against because
Yeah.
the kid you guys got at quarterback is dynamic. He's tough, and you guys have some really good athletes. And Marcus Freeman has done an outstanding job of recruiting and getting guys to come to Notre Dame that play good football.
Yeah, he's my guy. No matter what happens Saturday, like I'm a
Mm-hmm.
believer. I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's great, and he's like not uptight. He's not, screaming at people on the sidelines, getting
Mm-hmm.
purple faced. I'm a believer, man. I like him a lot. It feels like people like Notre Dame more because of Marcus Freeman. They're not like
Yeah.
they don't have a coach I hate, so he's fine.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, I think that's a big part of it. You know what I mean? I think that he's kind of developed an all-inclusive culture, if that makes sense. Like he's got guys that are buying into what he's coaching, and he's got guys that are believing in his process, which is good. And it also helps too that he's not hateable. You root for the guy. I mean, he's come a long way. He was a defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach of Notre Dame, and he's come a long way and kind of made everybody kind of believe.
Mr. Wan, you take that back right now.
Hey,
You take
I
that
tell you
back.
what. Hey, Mr. Juan, listen. I I I for one would love that. I'm not saying I'm not a Ryan Day guy, but he's really getting on my nerves. Like he's really starting to bother me.
Mr. Wan says Marcus Freeman, future Ohio State coach, and we do not accept that negativity in this place. We do not. Man, isn't it wild? We were just talking about this before we get one on air. This is the last homestand of the season coming up.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like, what? I know we've talked about this the last few weeks, as we're getting closer to the postseason. Just what an unbelievably fun year to be at the ball yard on a weekend summer night. Grab a
Mhm.
beer, grab a hot dog, grab a seat, watch this team, these young dudes ball out. I'm like, normally at this point, like Nate and I were talking about this week on the Riverfront when I filled in. By the way, I've been on like every show this week. Are you guys sick of seeing me yet? Um,
Hey, goats got to do what goats got to do. You know what I'm saying?
but just like how much fun this year's been. So I was with a buddy on Wednesday night, and he works for the Reds, and I was like, man, I don't know what you guys did this summer, besides the team being fun. I was like, but the ballpark atmosphere just
Mhm.
switched like that. Like being at GABP this year, like I've been there when they've had bad teams. It was still fun to go to the stadium on like a Tuesday Wednesday night, right?
Mhm.
But this year, like you go to see him on a Thursday night, he's got 30 thou in there.
Yeah.
Um, it's like it's fun, man, and it's
Yeah.
so cool. And like what he said to me was so great. He goes, "Yeah, it was fun this year, but this is just the beginning."
Oh yeah. Well, oh yeah, man, absolutely. Because now Now you're going to be a team that's not going to sneak up on anybody anymore.
Yeah.
People are going to have high expectations. People are going to expect for us to be in that playoff hunt, fighting for the Central. So, when your team is expected to win and you're expected to do great things, like the people are going to buy in, and I'll say this, like, even with the Bengals, even though they're not playing well right now,
Mm-hmm.
there's still that buy-in from the fans. There's still the buy-in from your coaches, the community, and that's where the Reds are sitting at right now. They have several guys that could be the new face of that place. They have young guys. They've got young talent. They've got all of these things going for them. A couple moves here and there, and I tell you what, it's going to be something special.
No, Mr. Watt, it was not Nick Kroll that I was hanging out with. No, if I would definitely love to sit down and have a drink with Nick Kroll and just have a conversation about life as a general manager.
Yeah.
Because that would just be really, really fun. But yeah, like Sydney says here, all we've been asking for is a good competitive team. We will be there. That's 100% right. I have the wrong banner up. I had Joe's up, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that out. Robert asked real quick, and we'll get this. A week from now, are the Reds still in the playoff, or will they be too far back? I think they're still in. They're winning series. They're not sweeping, which they are dropping opportunities to sweep series. They did that twice this week with Detroit and today. But if I don't think the Twins are super awesome by any stretch. They're good. They're they're winning the AL Central, which isn't saying much. Have they clinched the AL Central yet? I'm pretty sure they haven't, but I'm sure they're relatively close.
Yeah, they have not yet, but they're close.
Let me see real quick. I know someone will get this before I do. Because my phone's being super slow. So they are their magic number 6.
I was gonna say, yeah, I just saw it. They're magic number 6. They're 7 up on the Guardians.
Yeah, which they basically have clinched the Central. But Robert, I do think they're still gonna be in the running. I think that this week they got this series of Twins, and then from there you've got the Pirates, you got the Guardians, and like Nate talked about earlier this week, that stupid Cardinals series to end the season is going to make or break the gosh darn playoff hunt, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It's not fun. Let's get to this weekend, because this was a really I know today was not fun. But it was a really good series this weekend in Queens. They take 2 out of 3. Friday, I thought Hunter looked tremendous until Pete Alonso happened, but that's Pete Alonso, right?
I was going to say he happens to a lot of people.
Right. No one's mad about that. It was really good. Spencer Steer, 22nd homer.
So I know we've mentioned this, and I know we talked about this when we all got together a couple weeks ago, but and the kid from the Brewers is incredible. I get that. But dude, how does Spencer Steer not get more love?
You talking about Arizona, Corbin Carroll?
I mean, Arizona. I'm sorry. Yeah. Corbin Carroll.
Milwaukee does have some really good rookies, but
but I'm like, how does Steer not get more love? Like he's been tremendous.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's I think RBI is a stupid stat, but he does lead all rookies in the National League in RBI. Mm-hmm. But I love the ability that they can just they believe, and he believes, if you put me somewhere on the field, I'm going to give you my best. He has played first base, second base, third base, and left field this year. He hasn't necessarily been awesome at any of the positions, but he's been good. And I think that's got to play a part for sure. I agree with you. I do believe he'll finish second in the voting. I don't really know how else it stacks up. I haven't seen anything there, but Sydney mentions here, hoping McClain can come back this week. I have heard from a little birdie that, Sadek reported it today. He was hitting off a tee, but I heard he's been running for a week now.
Oh, really?
So I think it's very possible we could get Matt McClain back fairly soon. He's been the best player of all those guys, and Steer's been tremendous. And I know Ellie's been up and down, but you see Ellie's ceiling every day, and you're like, oh, I can believe in this. But yeah, Friday, Steer hits a huge homer. Hunter Green just tremendous. The bullpen lights out again. Really just a great day all around. And then yesterday, bullpen again. Andrew Abbott only goes 3 2/3. No problem. No problem at all. No runs given up yesterday. They were so good. So let's go through this real quick, Ben, if you don't mind. Let me pull up the box.
Absolutely.
Because I want to go through the bullpen. So Andrew Abbott goes 3 2/3, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Daniel Duarte, inning and a third, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Sam Mull, an inning. Fernando Cruz, 2 innings, a strikeout. Derek Law, an inning, 2 hits, and gets the save. They did not give up a hit until the 9th inning, and the bullpen had to pitch 5 1/3.
Yeah.
That's pretty
impressive.
awesome.
Yeah, that's impressive. And only 1 walk. I mean, that's clutch.
That's huge.
That's definitely clutch.
I think Fernando Cruz is like low-key super good. Maybe I'm crazy, but
yeah,
he gets outs.
He does get outs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely gets outs.
And then today, just not a great day. Rough day at the park, as I put it. They were really indecisive and made a lot of weird decisions on defense. Had a lot of Stevenson has a grounded double play that was really painful.
Yep.
And I think that was today. It might have been yesterday. Whatever it was not good. But Joey went 2 for 4 today. Had a nice double. That was solid. But just one of those days, the Mets weren't going to let you sweep them at home.
No.
But you take 2 out of 3. You have a winning road trip. You go 4-2 on the road trip against Detroit and the Mets. You should go 4-2 against those teams. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you want to get a sweep, but in the situation they're in, you take that. You absolutely take that.
Yep. And I was watching MLB Network, maybe Quick Pitch, and one of those people were like, "Look, when you get this close and you're down to wild card and playoffs, like you win ugly games, you're going to lose a couple ugly games, but you got to win some where your bullpen is strong. You got to win some where you scrape out wins, and that's what good playoff bound teams do. So they won some games where they had to lean on their bullpen. They won some game where they got some key hits and key spots. So that's starting to become the norm and the expected for this team because of their ability to be there when it matters.
Yeah, man, and it's just I'm trying to figure out the best words to put. So right now they're a half a game out of the third wildcard spot.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. They're like a half a game. They're a game behind the Cubs for the second wildcard spot. A half a game behind the Diamondbacks and Marlins, who are tied. And the Marlins, who we wrote for dead when we saw that schedule.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
What do we know? We're idiots, right? Like,
right.
Jazz Chisholm's just like, oh, okay, our schedule's going to be too hard. Let me hit Grand Slam in back-to-back days. Like,
man, incredible.
Kind of off topic here, but Bowman Chrome just came out this week, one of the better baseball card products every year. Yeah. And Jazz Chisholm's card in there, he's got the throwback Marlins jersey on. It's so sweet. It's such a good-looking card.
That's dope.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at this, so you've got Minnesota and Pittsburgh this week. Then you go to Cleveland for 2 to round out the Battle of Ohio. Maybe we should get Quincy again next week. Maybe he can come and say what's up. For the record, for you those of you who are joining, I mentioned this earlier on the internet, on the socials. We were supposed to have Paul Janisch this week. Paul is a coach at Rice, for those who don't know. So he had to do some recruiting stuff. I can't be mad at that whatsoever. Mm-hmm. He did apologize and say he would like to come back on in the future. So we're working out a day we can have him on. But never fear, we will have all Paul Janisch hanging out with us here in the near future. He just had to go, be a college coach and recruit a kid to go play baseball at Rice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a rational excuse.
Yeah, yes, it is.
No one's upset about that. Yeah. But we're going to have him on soon. So we're working all the dates out on that. But okay, so the Diamondbacks are up on the Cubs right now, 3-2 in the 6th.
Yeah.
Let's see what else happened today in that area. The Pirates beat the Yankees today. That's kind of funny. The Marlins beat the Braves today 16-2.
Yes.
I think since the Braves clinched the East, they're probably just like,
They're in cruise control.
yeah, they got 96 wins.
Yep, they're in cruise control.
Yeah. And then what the Giants do today? Let's see. Nationals beat the Brewers in 11. Cardinals beat the Phillies today. That's not really. Oh, the Giants beat the Rockies today 11-10 in Coors.
Mm.
Yeah. That would happen in Coors, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Yeah. Sydney asked if
Sounds
we saw
about right.
Joe Boyle, former Notre Dame pitcher, former Cincinnati Red, made his debut for Oakland today. I did see that. Must suck to have to pitch for a team that's won 40 games. 46.
Ugh.
Sorry, 46.
Woof.
They're like, they're literally the real life major league. Like, we're tearing this down and we're going to Vegas. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
That's exactly what they're doing.
it's woof.
Yeah.
Mr. Watt says, David Bell running bullpens to the dirt since 2018. Fair. Do they still do an all rookie team? I don't know if I recall them doing that. I don't.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if they do, but if they do, I mean, Steer and McLean have to be on there.
Yeah, I can accept Andrew Abbott.
Abbott too.
Yeah. Let's talk about a guy who won't be on there just because he doesn't have enough time, but it's been tremendous. Noelvi Marte. Pro ball player. What other way to describe him? So, last 15 games, that nice little 938 OPS looks pretty solid. 8 runs batted in, 6 RBIs, 17 hits, 3 stolen bases, and a tank. And also, by the way, really freaking good with the glove.
Yes, he is.
Ben, I think the one thing about when we bring all these young guys up that we have not talked about, and they all have been really good, they've been competitive, they've done their job, they've made things happen, is that every time one of these guys comes up, it's like a spark.
Yeah.
So, beginning of May, things are kind of up and down. Matt McLean comes up, spark.
Mm-hmm.
June, you have that really rough homestand. You got the Dodgers coming to town. Ellie comes up, spark.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Carcello-Strand, Andrew Abbott, we can go down the list. Noelvi Marte was like, I heard you guys need some help with some defense. I got you.
Yeah.
I heard you guys got to win some games. I got you.
Yeah.
What a really, really fun ball player to watch on a daily basis.
Yeah, he's been incredible. The cool thing about him is that it's almost what you can say about McLean. Like they're just solid players. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're guys that they take professional at bats. They, you know what I mean? They come in, they do their job. They are solid on the field. They do everything that you're asking them to do. And he's another guy that you're going to be able to plug and play and solidify an infield that's already really good. So now you've got, you have him there. You got CES, McLean when he's back healthy, and Ellie De La Cruz. I mean, that's 4 guys in your lineup that are
Steer.
Yeah, and Steer, who can play both infield and outfield. So it's like you've got 4 or 5 really good guys that you can have for a long time to be able to play in there. And Marte came in and he's just lit it up. I mean, he's been incredible.
Yeah, it feels like he kind of slid right in.
And it's definitely been good because McLean's been out. So, I mean, you lose McLean, which, we, of course, killed us. I mean, because he's just been such a part of our lineup. But he's done such a good job where you've been kind of able to balance that out, and he's been able to take up that slack where you lose from McLean.
Yeah, and I think, obviously he did get hit in the face with the ball last week.
Yes.
So that wasn't fun. But it's just like, I don't care. I'm going to get some big old hits anyway.
Yep.
And it's done that. I think going into today, I think they said he's hit 437 in September.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So just awesome. So awesome. Sydney says, too bad he's going to be sent down for Kevin Newman. Have we been through this already today with Mr. Juan and his Marcus Freeman comment? No negativity.
No
negativity.
This team has every a good part of the pieces they need to make the playoffs. We get McLean back healthy, and we're going to be good.
Yes.
No negativity.
No negativity.
No Newman.
The Twins do not know what's coming when they come to GABP tomorrow. All right. Even though they do have Joe Ryan pitching tomorrow, who is really, really good.
Yeah.
But that's not the point, okay? That's not the point. But yeah, Marte just fills right in. Man, some of the defensive plays he makes, and I'm gonna get some crap for this. People are gonna think I'm crazy. He's got a little Manny Machado to him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know Carlos, our resident Reds/Padres fan, has every right. Played for both teams. Is going to be very upset with me that and call me crazy. But Noelvi Marte's got a nice little Manny Machado to him. Like Manny Machado light right now.
Yeah. I could see a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's probably going to come back to bite me in the ass, but
no, I mean I can see that. I mean he's a solid hitter. He's gonna. I mean I don't know if he'll have
he doesn't have the power. No,
power for Ed Machado, but being a constant 290, 305 hitter, playing a solid infield. I mean I think that's a lot of the reason why Manny Machado is Manny Machado, right?
Yeah. And Manny Machado will be watching Noelvi Marte in the playoffs this fall.
There you go.
So, all joking aside, just a tremendous player, super fun to watch. Can't wait to see how he finishes out the regular season and leads the Reds into that wild card round.
Yes.
We have home games at Great American Ballpark because we got to play those stupid, stinky Pirates this weekend coming up. Actually, Iris is. We're going to be at the game Sunday because Iris is going to be on the field for the Reds Rookies Parade.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. She loves going to games, man. It's fun.
It always makes it better.
Mr. Juan coming at me saying, I got a hot take. You, my friend, started the show with a hot take.
You did. Right? Mr. Juan, you did come in hot.
So, let me feel the good vibes. I'm a Cincinnati sports fan who roots for the Chicago Bulls and Notre Dame football, all right? I don't get to have good vibes often. Let me have my Noelvi Marte Manny Machado comp until it's not correct in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Listen, he's going to be all right.
Yeah, agreed. Someone who hasn't been too hot of late, it seems like he's kind of hitting that rookie wall, and I hate that term, actually. I really should stop using it, but I can't help it. Brandon Williamson had a rough 2 starts this week against the Tigers and the Mets. Total of 8 innings, 8 earned runs in those games, 13 hits, 6 walks, and only 4 strikeouts. So I'm not going to go in here and say I'm super worried about him because I think he's kind of pitched above his ceiling a little bit. I do think he is a major league pitcher. I was just talking to Joe about this, Joe Farfsing of the Bengals show. And we were kind of talking about, he's certainly a big league pitcher. First off, anytime a lefty's got a really nice changeup, pretty fun to watch, really fun to watch. But I'm not 1,000% certain he's a starter, and that's not a bad thing at all. Because how often do you see 3 lefties in a rotation in the majors? Yeah. Something Nick Senzel would probably appreciate if he was playing against the Reds. But I think as far as maybe a middle rotation, middle of the bullpen guy, setup guy, I like him a lot. I think he's certainly earned the right to be on the big league club. Yeah. And when I say that I think he's not a starter, I'm not trying to insult him, though. I think he believes he's a starter, and I'm glad he does. I'm glad he's like, give me the ball every 5th day. But I'm not super sure when you look at who else is coming up, the Connor Phillips and guys like that he's the guy we're going to be counting on to throw 5-6 innings.
Yeah. And like you said, having 3 lefties in the rotation is very, very odd. He would be a great arm in the bullpen as far as giving you long relief. Because I do think he has that kind of stuff. I think he can give you 2 to 3 innings of decent relief if you need a lefty to come in. I just don't know if he has like the stuff to be consistently good for a 21-22 start season. I just don't think he has that kind of stuff. But not to say that he doesn't, like you said, I do believe that he is a major league pitcher. That's not what we're trying to say. I just think that his role probably needs to be adjusted because of the arms that we have coming up, and the arms that we have now. I think he's a guy that can help us in the bullpen.
Yeah, and I'm all for him starting through, through the rest of the season. I'm not saying
Yeah.
him in the bullpen now, especially with all the guys that are out. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really good role for him. I think he's a guy who's going to get outs.
Yep.
It sounds like the stuff with TJ Antone isn't as serious as it sounded when he left the game on Wednesday. Thank God.
Yeah.
Sounds like they might have dodged a bullet there. I don't know. I haven't seen a report since then, but yeah. All right, there you go, Mr. Juan. B. Williamson for the bullpen. We're back on good terms now.
We're
back on good terms. But I think Connor Phillips definitely has major league stuff to be a starter. I think that his first 2 outings weren't what you expected. But I think he's gonna be fine. Graham Ashcraft, I know he's out for the rest of the year. It sounds like along with Lodolo. That sucks.
Yeah, gosh, we still have a lot of arms, man. You know what I mean? Like we're naming. I mean, just Lodolo and Ashcraft alone. I mean, those are guys we don't have. Yeah, but those are 2 guys that we were counting on to have, and would we still have pitching either coming or in the rotation now. So it's like it's pretty good spot to be in.
Yeah, and there's some reports that Rhett Lauder might be starting in Chattanooga next year. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's a big start for a guy who hasn't pitched an inning yet in professional baseball. Yeah. Though he did pitch a ton in college this year.
Yeah.
So Carrick mentioned here, they mentioned on the broadcast that Anto may be an option for the rotation next year. Stuff-wise, I believe it. Yeah. I think, dude, like I said this a couple times. I said this on the Riverfront this week with Nate. I was really worried because we hadn't seen TJ Antone since the sticky stuff busting. So I was really worried he might be a guy that was part of his success.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was cheating. It was legislated at that time. I'm not trying to say anything bad about TJ Antone. I was wrong. I'm super happy I was wrong. Still, for not pitching in the big leagues for a year and a half, his stuff is filthy.
Yeah.
So if he can go 5, 6 innings next year, if they can stretch him out and try that out in spring training and see if he can do it, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, because his stuff is nasty.
Yeah, he's good.
His stuff's nasty.
Yeah, but I think B. Will is going to be a really good pitcher, getting innings for this, getting outs for this team. He's probably got 2 starts left this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably, if they make the postseason, gonna have to start one of those 3 games in the wild card round. Whether that's Milwaukee or whoever. It's gonna be interesting. I'm really, really excited. Carrick mentioned here that he thinks Router and Floyd, the 2 first-round picks this year, will start in Dayton with Acuna and Rivera. That's like I'm going to Dayton 2 or 3 times a month. That's the case, because those dudes are just gonna get outs, and they're gonna be fun to watch. Plus, because that's a fun ballpark to go to. You ever been to a Dragons game?
I have.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah, it is. It's really neat.
I tell people all the time, I joke. So for those who have done both Dayton and Louisville, the ballparks are they must have had the same architects, because the ballparks are set up the exact same. I don't know about distance as far as like how far the wall's out, but if you're like if you've been to one and not the other, and you go to the one for the first time that you haven't been to, and you're like, man, I got to use the bathroom. It's over here, right? You're like, I got to get a hot dog and a beer. It's right there, right? Same exact spot.
Same spot.
Yeah. So it's really, really fun. So I worked in Louisville this year. I really wanted to get up to Dayton. Couldn't make it work, but we're definitely Riverfront's going to be there next year for sure, doing some games. I'm excited about that. And then we got Chattanooga's in the playoffs. We know that for sure. Mm-hmm. Carrick, you're the guy who keeps up with this and fills me in. Are the Bats in the postseason, or are they trending towards making the playoffs? Because I know they've had a good year, albeit they've had a lot of major league players there on rehab assignment. So Carrick, Sydney, I know you guys keep up with this far better than I do, and I should get better with it. Let me know so we can kind of prepare for how many playoff games we'll be watching this year. All right, here's Mr. Juan's bullpen next year. TJ Antone, Alexis Diaz, Richardson Stout, Brandon Williamson, Alex Young, Sam Bull, Lucas Rims, Reaver San Martin. I can get behind that. Louisville will
Yes.
not be in the playoffs. Okay. All right.
Okay.
But I like that bullpen.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in love with Reaver San Martin yet. I think he's shown stuff besides the fact he just looks exactly like Jimmy Butler.
Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Who was the pointed that out to me one time? I think it was Sadak. I think Sadak said it to me one time, and I was like, oh. Okay. So the Lookouts will be the only minor league team in the playoffs because they clinched the first half. I don't know if I like that rule. Do you like that rule?
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah. It's it's cool they get to go to the postseason. I'm not going to discredit it, but
right.
It's a weird rule. All right, man. Let's talk about this week coming up. So, like I said, it's the last couple of home games, the last 2 home series. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday versus the Twins. According to the at-bat app, the Reds have not announced any starters yet. But the Twins are going Joe Ryan, Kenta Maeda, and Bradley Ober. 3 guys I genuinely really like. Good pitchers.
ESPN app has Connor Phillips.
Okay. Hunter Green probably.
Ryan,
if he pitched Friday, he's probably pitching Tuesday. Did I have that right?
Yeah,
No.
I'm trying to get it to come up. Yeah, it says undecided. Dallas Keuchel versus undecided on Tuesday.
Wait a minute. Dallas Keuchel still pitches in the big leagues?
Yes. And then they have Hunter on Wednesday.
That's what's in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Dallas Keuchel still in the big leagues.
Yes, he is.
Bro. Was he when he was pitching for the White Sox, was he like the second guy in the rotation to Mark Burley?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I think he was on that World Series team. That won in 04, 05, I mean.
Still going strong, you know what I mean?
I'm really bummed that this is the second time we've had one of these big time former Red starters come into town in this month, and they're not pitching in this series. Luis Castillo didn't pitch in the Seattle series. Sonny Gray is not pitching in this series. I would have wanted the Reds to win, but I would have really, really liked to have seen Sonny Gray pitch one more time. He might pitch for the Reds next year. Who knows?
That would be awesome.
I wouldn't hate it, depending how everything shakes out with all these guys who are up and coming. But this Twins team, they're going to win the AL Central. They're in the playoffs, obviously. It's the last series of the year the Reds are playing a team above 500, for anyone who cares about that. But I think this is not necessarily an awesome team. I'm not like freaking out about them.
Yeah.
Though their plus 90 run differential is awfully nice.
They score some runs.
Yeah, they do. Trying to see real quick because I should have looked more into it. So Carlos Correa has not really had a great year for them.
Nah, he's been awful.
I know, he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's not been good.
Farm Dog has a higher OPS than Carlos Correa this year.
Really?
Yep. Okay. Well, they've got a couple guys who can hit, but they're the typical Twins.
Yeah.
They go out there, their starters get 7 innings, their bullpen takes it from there.
Yep. Yeah, because the Reds have a higher batting average, score more runs, have more hits, better on base percentage. Yeah, I mean, on paper, we're the better team.
Yeah, if the Reds can limit them to a couple runs, I think they can definitely get at least 2. You got to get 2. You got to get 2 to keep in this.
Well, yeah, and it's to stay in the wild card, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then you got that Pirates series for the last home series of the season. I haven't had a chance to look at their projected for starters either. And we all know how I feel about that god atrocious city.
Yeah, but that's one where you yeah, that's one you got to sweep. Like I mean, that's one you have to sweep them in order to stay in contention.
Yeah, they don't care anymore. They're done. Andrew McCutcheon's out for the season. They're like,
they're done.
No O'Neal Cruz this year. Like they're just coming here just to kind of fill out the schedule, play the games that they have to play. Got to get them. Got to
Yep,
get them.
I agree.
But man, I can't believe we're talking about the last homestand of the year.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
It's been
And
such a fast summer because I think it's just because I've been so invested every night.
yeah. Well, I think that's what's made it cool. You know what I mean? That the last couple years, uh, it's been July, and we're like, baseball's over. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and this year, here we are, here we sit. We're a half game out of the wild card, and with a young team that really wasn't expected to be there, and the expectations are there. Like we're playing with house money right now. I mean, it's if we make it, great. You know what I mean? Then it's awesome. This young team gets a chance to be in the playoffs. If we don't, I mean, gosh, we know exactly what's coming back next year,
Yeah.
and the league is going to be in trouble. So I mean, we're playing with house money, which is fun, which is a lot of fun, because you have that opportunity to you know it's a great spot to be in. It's just good.
Michael Sparks says time speeds up when you have kids. And
that's definitely true.
did I learn that fast or what?
Yes, that's definitely true.
Yeah, that's definitely wild. Um, Real quick, we'll look at what the other teams have coming up this week. Um, so the Cubs have the Pirates and the Rockies this week.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. They've played really bad, though, for a couple of weeks. So hopefully this just means I don't think any of these teams really want this. This is like that year. Remember when the Spurs made the play in and they were trying to not make the play in and they still
Yeah.
made it? Like, this is what this feels like. Um, so that's what they've got. I'm not even going to look at the Phillies. I think the Phillies are kind of there. Let's see. The Marlins. This is interesting. 2 at the Giants. I'm sorry, Diamondbacks. Sorry, Diamondbacks. 2 at the Giants. Then they go to the Yankees this weekend.
Ooh.
Hopefully Aaron Boone's can help his old team out before he gets fired this offseason.
Right.
Yeah. And then the
You
Marlins.
think it's a wrap? Hold on. You think it's a wrap for Boone?
Yeah. I think
The Boone experiment's over.
I think if they bring him back, Yankees fans might the Bronx might be in trouble.
I'm surprised he's lasted this long. Like not this long. I'm surprised he's lasted as long this season. Like I mean, I thought
Realistically,
he
I
would
don't
have.
think he's been that bad. I just
No,
think
no,
it's the
that's what I'm saying.
Yankees.
Yeah, I think it's the Yankees. I think that they. That's why I'm saying. I'm surprised he's lasted this long this season. I think historically for his run in New York, he has not been bad.
Yeah. Like if he was like the manager of let's say he's the manager of the Nationals, right? They're probably like, "Oh, this guy's pretty decent. Like, if we get a team with this guy, we're going to be pretty good."
Yep.
If he's the manager of the Brewers, if he's Craig Counsell, people are like, "Man, this guy's got it
Yeah.
going on."
Yep.
But it's just he's the manager of the Yankees.
Yep.
I know there's some Reds fans who probably would rather have him over David Bell. I do not agree with that. Just so we make sure we are clear on this. But that's neither here nor there. So the Marlins, after sweeping the Braves this week, dude, what the hell? They lose 4 in a row. No, they lose 3 out of 4 to the Brewers.
Yep.
And they sweep the Braves. And then so they got
Who
the
the Braves?
Mets.
Who the Braves have packed it in?
Yeah, the Braves are like, we're getting 100. We don't care.
You're right.
The Mets and then the Brewers at home.
Ooh.
So, unfortunately, we got to root for the Brew Crew this week because we obviously are not catching up for the Central.
Right.
And then right behind the Reds is the Gigantes, who will have, as we mentioned, the 2 games with the Diamondbacks and 4 with the Dodgers.
Ooh.
So, make or break week for the Giants for sure.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough.
That's all on the road.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. Is that the last Dodgers home series of the season too? Because they're going to pack it up there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get this up real quick. I should have had this. I did not have time to do like my normal stuff today. Joe just was like, I got to have you on the Bengals show today. I know everyone wants to talk about the Bengals today. Yep. Last homestand of the season for the Dodgers.
Wow.
Who also have 91 wins.
Yes.
Ooh.
Huh.
Let's do an exercise here. All right. So at the moment, let me pull this up real quick just to make sure I got this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. At the moment, there are 4 teams in the majors with 90 wins. Atlanta, the Dodgers have both clinched their divisions. And then the American League, you have Baltimore and Tampa, which they're in the same division.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Which of those teams falls apart in the first round? Some team that wins 95 plus always chokes in the first round of the baseball playoffs. Well, Baltimore's going to get a bye.
Yeah.
And then so is Atlanta. And so they won't be in the wild card round. I don't know. Something about Tampa this year. Everything they had to overcome, the worst of the worst, literally.
Yeah.
I think Tampa's probably going to make a run this year.
You think Tampa's it?
Yeah. I just think that whatever they have going on, they have figured something else.
Yeah.
To lose Wander Franco, which we're not going to get into why.
Right.
And to be able to do what they're doing, pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive.
Like everybody, if you look at the Tampa Bay Rays on fantasy baseball and you look at their position players, everybody plays 7 positions.
Yep.
They
move people around all over the place.
Yeah. And that's without the shift rules.
Yeah.
You mentioned Baltimore. You're not a Baltimore believer? I think they're pretty awesome.
I mean, I think their team as a whole is good. I just don't know. I just don't know when it comes to playoff time if they'll have enough to make a run, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So Mr. Juan asks, who is a better manager, Bob Boone or Aaron Boone? I'm going to go with Aaron Boone, but you also make a great point. Albert Ascens was his ace one year.
Ooh.
God, Joey Hamilton, what a name.
Wow.
Pull him up in the immaculate grid. Sydney says the Reds are this year's Phillies. I like to think that they're next year's Orioles, but I'll take this year's Phillies.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't have an Adley. They've got everything else, but they don't have an Adley.
Yeah.
He's going to be an MVP.
Yeah.
Matt McClain might be an MVP. I don't know. Maybe I'm just way too high on Matt McClain.
No, I think Matt McClain is solid.
Yeah, I did too. Well, so, and also Carrick mentioned earlier, so in the AA playoffs, Chattanooga will be playing the Tennessee Smokies, the Cubs affiliate. So, Ben, is that saying that we need to make a road trip to Gatlinburg for the Lookout Smokies series?
Ooh. I'll never turn down a trip to Gatlinburg.
I haven't been in so long, since before the fire.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I've actually never been to a Smokies game.
You know what? I think we've been to the stadium, but there was no game there. I think we went down one time, went to the stadium, but they were out of town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But man, I would love to go if I could pull it off. I don't think I can, but I will find a way to watch those games. Oh, yeah. That's my last thought. I was so pissed this week. So Wednesday, they're playing the Tigers. MLB Network picks it up. Can't watch the game. Can't watch it on Bally. Can't watch it on YouTube TV because of the stupid MLB Network rule. So pissed.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, I got nothing going on Saturday night. I didn't watch UC Miami or the Colorado State game. I probably should have, but I didn't.
That was incredible.
Yeah, I heard. I'm really disappointed when Shiloh Sanders had that 80-yard pick six. He didn't high step, but that's neither here nor there. Thinking I'll watch the Reds-Mets game. Nope. Can't do it. This blackout rule is freaking stupid.
Hold on, it was blacked out? Even on Bally?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It's like NBA League
No,
Pass,
hold on.
dude.
So our team. So hold on. So Our team is fighting for the playoffs, and we get blacked out.
Yep.
Wow.
I was heated. Heated. So I had to look real quick ahead, and according to the At Bat app, every game this week is just on Bally. So I was very appreciative of that.
Right.
Yeah. But Ben, before we get out of here,
Yes,
any
sir.
final thoughts?
We like you said, we got to get 2 out of 3 from the Twins. Got to sweep the Pirates. Unfortunately for us, the teams that we're battling are still playing pretty well. Besides the Cubs, I don't think the Cubs are playing great,
No.
but Diamondbacks are still playing well. Um, the Giants have a tough road, which is hopefully they hit a bump in the road having to go to LA for 4.
Yeah.
So it's looking in our favor if we come out and play well. So
Yeah, absolutely. But it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. So let's say this happens. They sweep Pittsburgh. They win 2 out of 3. They go on the road for the final 2 series, the final 5 games with 83 wins. Let's go back to like March 23rd when I said, "Hey
Right.
Ben, last week of the season, the Reds are gonna have 83 wins going on the road for Cleveland and St. Louis." You'd have said,
You're crazy.
"Yep."
I would have said
And
you're
I deserved.
absolutely crazy.
Yep, and I deserved it. I would have absolutely deserved it.
That's incredible. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. So if they do in fact clinch the playoffs, I know Nate and I have talked about doing a big Riverfront Reds like show in general, just celebrating
Absolutely.
with everybody. So we're gonna hope to get that going. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this week's episode of Late Night Reds, brought to you by our good friends at SeatGeek here on the Riverfront. As always, $20 off at SeatGeek. Your first purchase, just using the code Riverfront. So on behalf of Ben Brown, this is Tim Daniel. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday.
Go Red Legs.